By noon, we knew that a local man had murdered 3 local women in the space of an hour. 2 of them were women that I knew.
You've heard about the Me Too campaign and the stories shared through the hashtag that denounces sexual assault, harassment, and violence. I'm Faiza Amin. I'm inside the downtown YWCA. One advocacy group says since that viral campaign, more men have been stepping up, pledging to end violence against women. More workplaces are also looking to take more steps in addressing sexual misconduct.
It's very prevalent. It's happening in every industry. I don't think there's ever been a more critical time to have the conversation and to see some real change take place. There's definitely been an increased demand for our services. We've seen more workshop requests coming in from people working in the education sector. We've seen our web traffic increase. We've seen more men taking the pledge. It's been kind of difficult for men to understand the scale of the problem. They don't experience it themselves day to day oftentimes. So I think this has been a bit of a revelation, and it's called for a little bit of a gut check, a little bit of self-reflection, and a little bit of understanding what their role can be.
The numbers continue to be staggering. Recent data from White Ribbon shows there are 460,000 sexual assaults in Canada every year. Out of 1,000 of them, 33 are reported to police, 29 reported as a crime, 12 have charges laid, 6 are prosecuted, and 997 assailants walk free. Only 3 lead to convictions. Those numbers featured in this guide for Ontario educators. This is one of the many resources White Ribbon says will be made available to the province's educators Wednesday night. This event is part of the 16 Days of Activism, a United Nations global campaign to end violence against women and girls around the world. Throughout this international effort, White Ribbon, a global movement to end violence against women by working closely with men too, plans to be active in raising awareness, educating, and doing outreach work, one of which includes this event inside the YWCA, where attendees, including stakeholders and the province's Minister of the Status of Women, learned more about sexual violence prevention initiatives for the province's educators.
Helping educators to know how to direct their students through that kind of learning, what consent is, the different spectrums of gender, how to understand how to be an active bystander.
Is there any data to suggest that education on gender-based violence is necessary at a young age?
The awareness of the issue and making sure that our young people out there are able to think about what they're doing and the impact of their actions definitely deters the ability and the possibility of sexual violence and harassment.
There are 2 versions of the guide for Ontario educators, one geared to grades 1 to 8, the other to high school students. White Ribbon says both of these booklets will be made available online. In Toronto, I'm Faiza Amin for City News.